Do you have a unpopular opinion to share? Or that's right, you say you didn't.
Yeah. You what you talking about monogamous? Bro, I just think that's the person, man. Like I've been married to my wife for 6 years, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I ain't thought about having sex with another woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just the what's in you, bro. Like it's easy to cheat, man. Cause you know guys like us, and I be telling everybody, like any guy who got their shit together can get down to any girl they want. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to step out. I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say it's hard to be faithful, but that's something you gotta want to do, Horace. You know what I mean? And me and Mario. I think we the only two in the group right now that's married,
Mhm.
and he could tell you the same thing, man. You wanna honor your wife, honor your family, and things of that and things of that nature. That you know what I'm saying, that when you go out, you can trust that you represent the whole family. You feel me? So then when you build something, bro, and it's something so good, you don't want to mess it up, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to mess it up. And I mean, there's a lot of people that can't do it. So that's when that's the thing that's going on right now. People having 2 and 3 girls at the same time, and some women are agreeing with it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, bro, I'm just locked in with what I got going on in my situation and my family, man. When you building the empire, you know what I mean? Them outside things can tear it down real quick. And y'all know what I mean. Cause they walking around every day. You know, hey Mar, you know it. If you get more try you when you're married than you're not, bro. You know how that go.
Well,
I
let me
I
well,
definitely do.
let me backtrack and introduce the conversation.
For
The
real. You
question
lying.
that I sent you was, can Mario last week said there's a path to monogamy. So I was going to ask Mario the week is, can some men never be monogamous, or is it a journey? Because Mario said last week it's a path. I think that's what you said, Mario.
Right,
It's a
because I
Time
think
out. Wait a
you know
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Harder. Wait a minute. All y'all got to state y'all opinion. I did not. Before we go there,
you tapped out.
because
Did
I
he not
figured it
tap
out.
out, Chris?
I actually didn't tap out. I said I wait, and you didn't because you brought Lala in. Just ease up. Let me get my point out, and it's gonna lead into what Hart is about to say. But the unpopular opinion that I hear a lot is I hear a lot of women blame fathers that are not in the home for the kids that don't make it to be successful. But the kids that make it to be successful, they take all the glitz and the glory, and the father that was absent had nothing to do with that. That I have an issue with because I actually feel like it's the teacher that's at home that teaches the messed up ways that the kids actually get, not the teacher that's not in the class. However, that's my unpopular opinion, and they may not see it that way. I do, but which goes into what you guys are talking about because now when y'all come together, oh my God, what a beautiful thing. But go right on ahead, Hardy, what you was telling us about the monogamy.
oh no, I think it's monogamy ain't nothing to me except for discipline, right? So what Lolly was
Oh
alluding
yeah.
to, what he was alluding to is just real. Like he was saying outside stuff and everything. Well, see, once a man can understand and maximize his discipline in any area in his life, then he's working at his highest level of life. That's when you're
Wow.
working out. That's when you're saving money. That's when you can delay your gratification because we all know, and we all love women. We all understand. We have worked all our life and mastered every art to obtain women. That is something that when you get to around our age and you've acquired the things we had, it becomes unfair. It becomes easy almost. Like you can get a woman. Like that's not nothing new. But to tell yourself to break all those bad habits, to lean forth on not what you just want, but on what's gonna make a better future for you, on what's gonna set your whole generation of family up. Because being married have its ups and downs, just like everything else in life, like your job, like your work, like everything else. But one thing I always notice is when it comes to marriage, every down get pinpointed and magnified to the utmost because it wants to be like that's why you shouldn't get married. See, look at this. But the same thing happened at a job. But people don't just go around preaching that's why you shouldn't work and sit home on your ass. But I'll leave that alone to another story. But I just say to each his own. But I always say to me, what Lolly was saying, I was thinking monogamy, right? I think monogamy is the biggest form of a man who's been out here showing discipline, right? Because if you can turn down women, when you able to get all the women that you want. And I think that takes a different level of discipline that you got of your life to be able to turn down so much other stuff when the devil throw it at you. That's just why I believe. I believe because when my wife not around, when nobody's there looking, and it's nobody but me and God walking, and I'm saying no, that's my discipline. That has nothing to do with me scared of getting caught. That has nothing to do with me worried about how that's gonna trip up. That's me staying on course. It's just like when I tell somebody about the gym. I can't be with you when you eat that cheeseburger when you leave the gym. If that's on you, that's your discipline. If you want to look like this, if you want to don't look like that. So I think it's a path to monogamy, but you got to look at it as being disciplined. And if you don't value discipline, what most people are gonna say is, man, it ain't really that. They're gonna make excuses because it's something that you don't want to do because it takes work. And we see that in this world, most people that you got to work for stuff, you try to find another way around it. You try to find, like I said, I want to be married, but I don't want to be monogamous. So I'm gonna be married and we're gonna have a whole bunch of women. And we're gonna just I want to be married, but I don't want to sacrifice. So I'm gonna be a dictator. I want to be married, but I'm a self, like Chris said. I want to be married, but I don't want to love my wife more than I love me. So I'm gonna practice self-love. And it's gonna be all about me. That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to just dictate how something's supposed to go. No, it's a give and a take. I tell people every day, if my job when I wake up in the morning is love my wife and do the best I can for my family. If she wake up and do the same thing, then guess what? Both of us gonna win. Every day.
Yep.
Every day. But I think it's just an unpopular opinion. But as I definitely believe it's a road to monogamy. I think it just starts with a man having discipline. You gotta have discipline, bro. Because if you don't have discipline, you dead on that. There's always gonna be somebody out there who's gonna give you an offer that you can't refuse. You the one gotta refuse it.
Well, let me ask you this, Zay, Chris, and Horace. Like, with the thing with me was like, I'm like, man, like all of us from the hood, bro. I ain't trying to put nobody business out there, but we probably all lost our virginity at a young age, bro. I was just saying, like, how many different women we got to have sex with too. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that pointed me to monogamy. Like, I done did enough. Ain't nothing else I can say that, damn, I got to do this. You feel me? I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to ask y'all three, what else is left for y'all to do that y'all can't be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know your business, but I'm just asking.
I'll be real with you, Lolly. You missed the conversation, but I think Hardy was talking about the path to monogamy is something that's not talked about, right? It's not preached about, like you said, how to get women and things like that. Everyone told you how to do that. They pushed you to do that, but no one pushed you to get one woman and just be with her. They just always told you that you need to get one woman. So I think that it is a fear because we're men, we have ego and we have fear of failing. So we don't want to look stupid with one woman and then she got all these list of dudes that, we joke about, the food guy, the money guy, all that other stuff. So we got to keep one in the hip pocket because that's what the players told us, the old players who've been around the block and taught us when we were younger, because you got to remember what Hardy said, all the prominent ones moved away and left. And the other ones that were here, we didn't think that much of them till we got older, like now, and we see who was really the fool and who was not. But by this time, we got 30, 40 years of foolishness in us. It's hard to break old habits, but you got to, like Hardy said, have the discipline to want to do it. So it starts, you got to build the courage up like, damn. We always joked about the Outcast, the player anthem when he does it. I hate to see you, at least I love to see you smile and I hate to see you frown. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like you hate to see them frown, but you want to see your wife smile. How do I do this? And a lot of guys just don't have it in them to say, I don't know what I'm doing. So therefore, you revert back to what you already know how to do. And that's why I like when I get an opportunity to speak to women and you see a man trying, going in the direction, better learn how to pat that man on the shoulder and give him his flowers because he's trying. If you keep on telling him how much of a dog he is and all this other stuff, you know how to do that really, really well. He gonna revert back to them old ways. You never ever get what you want. But that's just what I see. I see that there's not really it's not harped on inside of our demographics on how to actually do it outside of you just better do it. So if that why can be met, the how can be easy. But I think that we don't have that part. That's just what I get. And I could be totally wrong, but I'd love to hear what you guys got to say to that.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, I'm probably the worst one to ask this question because I've never been monogamous in my life. But I think the first step is
we can learn the most.
I'm just saying, like, I had to take AA classes before to get myself out of trouble, and I learned in those classes the first step is admitting it. That's one thing it never happened, and then the next step is trying. I don't have a plan on it. I'm just gonna try. I don't know how to do it. I don't know who to come to really. I mean, I talked to Hardy. We got another friend, artist Newbie, who's been with his wife 22 years. I talk to them when it comes to trying to establish how to be faithful and how to be monogamous, because I've never tried it. But I honestly believe that monogamy is when a man is the only time where a man don't process things logically. I think men process things off of logic and reason, and they cost benefit deductors. I think that this is when a man becomes monogamous, this is the only time where he's not being logical, because monogamy for a man, in my opinion, goes against his logics, his biological history, all of that. But he's making a choice to say, I go beyond, past all of that just to be monogamous with you. And I think that has something to do with value. When I believe that when women are monogamous to us, because we create value, meaning I bring something to the table that you value so much you don't want to lose. And I think that that's what we have to be getting in return to be monogamous. For me to be monogamous with you, you must, for one, give me a feeling that cheating, give me an equivalent feeling that cheating gives me. Cheating usually gives you an ego boost, a boost of serotonin, and makes you feel. I ain't never heard somebody go cheat and say, "Dang, now I'm feeling terrible." You know what I'm saying? It gives you some kind of boost. But with her, you gotta feel the same. You gotta feel the same way. Like just being around her gives me a similar feeling. I can't be the same exact, but it gives me a similar feeling of when I sneak off and cheat. I think it's on both parties to give the other person a reason to only want them. It's selfish for me to ask you to just be with me when I don't give you the bare minimum to be with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my opinion. If you don't do nothing for a woman, how can you expect monogamy? So I think, to wrap it all up, I think that for us to be monogamous, for one, is you got to try it. You just got to give it a shot. You just like everything else in the world, you don't know what you're doing, you try. And two, you want to find somebody that makes you feel like I can't. It's not worth losing you. It's not worth losing you, and that means you got to put it on the woman to give you something in return. A lot of men is being monogamous, and they the one that's doing all the work. It ain't like this woman is giving them a reason. It ain't like she's, loving them in a certain way that elevates them. He just doing this because he don't want to seem like a bad person. I would rather do it because the woman gives me so much value that I just don't want to lose. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I just push back on you on one spot, though, Chris. With men, we got to lead by example, and I think PJ said it earlier out in the show where he was saying you got to give in order to receive. So as Artie was talking about the discipline and stuff like that, the things and I think that's what we got to work on if we're gonna get there, is just giving out that monogamy that you're saying, and they'll give it back. But you're saying that the woman got to give you something to be monogamous too. Let's lead. I know you're Chris Leo, you talk about manly stuff all the time. You gotta lead.
Well, a lot of men is broken up with that theory in your mind. No, you should get something for what this should be an exchange. You should get something for what you put out. But look, you can be shortchanged if you want to, Zay. I want it. You got to give me something for my monogamy. My monogamy, my attention, my love, everything has a goddamn price. I'm not a free boy.
But you just said that love was selfless. You saying some selfish shit. But all right, I mean, I understand, to each his own. I just was pointing that point out to you.
Well, I'm never gonna come on this show and just say stuff that y'all want to hear, and some people might call it. You don't even agree with some of the stuff I say, but it's my thoughts. It's my opinion to have. I do think monogamy for some is a journey because if a dude go from having all the chicks all the time and going through them, for him to just go cold turkey the next day is just, it has to be something mind blowing. Like Chris say, like I met somebody that I don't want to lose, so I'm gonna discipline myself to try to keep her. But it's gonna be a struggle because his body, the physical parts of his body, is still used to that. So that's when God, spirituality, all the other stuff comes into form. Because physically, before you gain some emotional intelligence, you pretty much really revving off of physical needs and whatnot. And to be honest, I think it's harder because of the demand for a decent dude nowadays. Allegedly, I think it's women should come in men that's monogamous because it's hard. Just like y'all said, it could be a good dude. Lala could be a good dude, married, wife and kids, and the same people will come up and be in his end by trying to get him to not be a good dude and not monogamous, right? Or a single man that says, "Hey, I'm dating this person. I'm single, but me dating 4 or 5 women because I'm trying to figure out who I like. I'm gonna pick this person, but that trait, my habits, have to come to a halt. So that's when like I said, I had to meet somebody that she supplies other stuff besides the physical. Physical is damn sure still a part of it, but I'm saying the physical, you're gonna have a soulful connection with them and whatnot. So I think it's a journey. A lot of people, unless I know some dudes that came up with a 2-parent home and they didn't even try to get in those streets. They went straight to, hey, my mom and dad were married. I'm gonna find me a wife and build because they were taught that, hey, this is the best way to live. 2 people together, you're gonna build a union. This is a good roadmap for success. Most of us didn't have that. My uncles gauged me off. Hell, my dad, the first thing he would always say is you doing it. You know what I mean? Like you having sex. Nothing else mattered. That's what he would ask me a lot of times. So, hell, when I start having sex, sex is amazing. But for me to just say the next day that, I think that's what gets a lot of dudes, that whole transfer from one lifestyle to another. Yes, Chris.
Can you put Norman's comment up?
Don't do it, Chris. Oh boy.
Hey, what led me to that role, man. I always said if I got married, I'm gonna do right by my wife, man. I just wanted to. I'm not gonna be out there. I'm not gonna. You know what I'm saying? Once I got married, I just like. I deleted every number in my phone, all that stuff, bro. I didn't want no temptations because I just wanted to do right, not by my wife, by myself. I want to do right by God. I wanted that version of trying to be the best husband, the best father I can be. You know what I'm saying? And that is like one of the main reasons that I don't do stuff like that, bro. Because I said once I get married, the shit is a wrap. Now, so once I lock in, even when I was locked in, you know what I'm saying? Like the one I was gonna be with my wife, I was like, nah, I'm straight. Anybody that came in my inbox, anybody that try to give me something for tickets, all that crazy shit, I ain't want it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to just make sure I was doing the right thing. That was like my path to monogamy. I don't know about Hardy, but mine was like, I just want to do right by my wife and family. You know what I'm saying? About God house.
What you guys on, Chris? I would say 1,000%. I always question myself. How do people who don't believe in God stay faithful? Because when Chris, I always say that because Chris brought up my wife. My monogamy has shit to do with my wife. It has something to do with my relationship and my relationship with God. So I always say my hats are off to people who be totally monogamous, because I can see where Chris coming from on his end. Because if you take the God out of it, a lot of it don't make sense, and then it will have to be reciprocated. But to me, I can cheat and not get caught, and my wife not be hurt, and not all that kind of stuff, and she still give me what she wants. So to live up to your reality, I can still get what I want, but God knows. See, that's the thing. I want to be the guy who I can look in the mirror and say, bro, I didn't cheat. Out of all these dudes out here who married, who fucking over, who just playing marriage, who just running through the streets, I'm not that guy. I am not that guy. I don't care what they do. I know I did. If my wife go cheat tomorrow, I can look anybody in the face and say, bro, I didn't do that. I did exactly what I intended to do. When I stood at that altar, I was not capping. I was telling the truth. I mean, I love you. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna protect you. Because I didn't have to stand there and say that. I could have just kept being in this world doing what the hell I want to. But I chose this, so I'm gonna do it the right way. That's why I do it. So I understand what Chris is saying. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm ignorant to what he's saying. I do want that, but I believe when you really love somebody, bro, and much as you understand women, and you've been around women, and you know what you're not gonna take, in order for me to marry her, she had already showed me that she was willing to give me and be the person I was, right? But my monogamy was not tied to that. My choosing her and going down that road was tied to that because I felt comfortable with her. She made me feel like she was a life partner. Well, above all, she made me feel like she was tied to my purpose for what God had for me. So then once I aligned that, then I had to say, God got me on the road. I believe this is the person he gave to help me for when I get weak on this road and on this. That's what it is. But if you don't have that, I always ask them people, bro, I don't know how you do it. Without God, I don't know how you stay monogamous.
I don't have the tickets that Lale be talking about. Next time, give me the damn ticket. But what I was gonna say, something that a trait, and I could be wrong here, fellas. I could be wrong here because I know very few faithful guys. But a trait that I see in the guys that I think is faithful. Let's take Mario for instance. Let's take Lolly for instance. Let's even take Artist Newbie, which I brought up before. When I talk to them, the trait that I see is these guys stay busy. They take different experiences in life and try to that feeling that you get from cheating, try to substitute that with something. Hardy, I take Hardy for instance. He go hunting. That gives you that thrill of success or achievement. He just bought a Harley. He's in the car. He's doing things to prioritize his time and not to put it into the energy into getting the women. Lolly, you're coaching. You got your regular job. You're doing parties. You're doing all these things. These things is what keeps your mind focused on anything other than getting the cat. Because what is one thing I tell you, that idle time you go try to spend it. We're gonna try to fill it with women. So
that's what the devil give you though, Chris.
Huh?
The devil may work for them idle hands. That's the one promise he got for you.
Yeah, and then he be blessed. But what I'm saying is again, they just you have to fill yourself up with things that gives you that same feeling. Well, not the feeling, somewhat of the same feeling that so you don't have to be out there chasing women to give you that feeling.
Hey, Chris, let me not to cut you off. And guess what? And guess what you just said, Chris. Guess what all those things you just said do? Create generational wealth, build up the community, sustain life, learn man skills. So what you just said is you're right. People who instead of getting entangled and pulled out here into frivolous behavior that only satisfies me, I can build. And that's what you're right. And I agree with that. And that's what marriage does. It puts you to another level of building of other stuff, like you're making shit better. And I think that's just so overlooked. That's why, bro, Lolly been married for 6 years. That's why I said, like, that should inspire me. I always tell y'all, I'm still new to this, but to hear other men come out, because I agree with Chris. I don't know a lot of married men who really committed in monogamy.
Keep it above.
I'm agreeing with them too. And
damn sure they can't say it in public.
Yeah,
and
there's more of them though.
Bro, me and Chris
there's more of them than it's not.
That shit hurt me. That shit kind of broke me. I was like, God damn, bro, you too? Like, not judging, but just like, come on, bro. I'm thinking
that's crazy, bro. The same shit. I be having, man, right hand man, like, boy, y'all about to go. I'm like, man, I don't know how y'all could do that shit, bro. I got to live through you. Tell me all about it. I ain't doing it. I got to live through y'all, bro. Tell me all about
But
it.
now you understand what the importance, like the way how Hardest phrased that question last week. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, your heart is a testament. Lolly, you're a testament. You feel me? Papa Heart, Artist Newbie, you're a testament. You feel me? And I think that y'all should really probably get together. We should take a segment out so that y'all can kind of talk about your walk. Not to say that it's a blueprint, but to give them another peer, because like Chris always vehemently says, we've seen too many guys that have been married that, yeah, they out here. And it doesn't make guys like myself or Chris be like, why get married? Why get married? I can sit here and do the same thing without feeling like y'all feel, because they already know versus I'm out here and I'm married and then all the girls shoot them because, well, you got that girl looking stupid. You understand what I'm saying? And then you think that you the man, but you really the sucker. Because they don't really respect you. They talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Keep the buck. But, you know, what do I know? I'm just saying. But I think more conversations need to be had about how it's a simple thing to do. It's not easy. Like, it's simple because all you got to do is really just do it. But the not easy part come into work. You feel me? And Chris Hardy kind of talked to you. You actually fixed what I was saying, because he was telling you what he decided to do. You actually said it for them. You said it for Lolly as well. What they be doing, because they made up in their mind that I'm gonna do this. I'm a coach. I'm gonna put my energy into this. Because just like you asked about the devil make work out of hands, when you got a whole bunch of time, you got time to think of mischievous stuff and not build, like what I said. So that's just what I picked up from the conversation, guys. I appreciate that, because I'm still a student. You know what I'm saying? They taught me terribly, so it is what it is.
Well, let's talk to Horace. Horace was married. He has an extended.
Oh, he liked to side with married.
He was faithful. So how did you do it?
Yeah. How'd you keep the Devoli in your pants?
Zay,
Devoli.
Zay, for quality assurance, I'm damn near liable to let you take you off the screen because you
he act like you're an expert.
Bro, I am just.
I'm not.
With this
I'm a student. I stay green so I can grow.
Well, sometimes he be quiet, and the night he is just goddamn. I don't even know what's the person I want to say. He just
all. All right.
Oh boy,
I'm learning.
Marriage advice.
That's a good.
No, I'm waiting to hear your marriage advice.
Yeah. I want to hear Tootie. That's a good. You was faithful too though while you was married. Like that's a good point that Chris brought out. What fueled you?
One understanding the responsibility. My fears kind of molded the first half of my relationship. One, I have such a fear of being a failure, being homeless, being a failure, and not being able to tell somebody look at God. I have such a fear of somebody.
They said the devil can't bless you.
Devil bless me tonight. Get out of here. Listen, on some real stuff, man. No, that's the thing. I feel less if my kids say they need something, I can't give it to them, right? The same way when you got a wife, man, you know they already put that so much on. You're supposed to be a provider. You're supposed to be this, and that. I walked into a blind just knowing that I had somebody that I thought was special. I didn't want to lose them. And for the first time, I had somebody I said I wanted to take care of. I never had that feeling before, right? But my whole thing through our journey, she was a hardworking person. I wanted us to have a house. I really wanted to achieve dreams stuff with her. So that was the thing. That was probably what shaped me, Chris. Both of us had similar lives. So like they say, sometimes people will bond over trauma. So I think that really made us close as a couple. Not saying it was healthy, but I really wanted to achieve a lot of goals with her. She was an excellent mother to my kids. Spiritually, I actually felt comfortable letting her know I didn't know so much about God as made so I felt comfortable talking to my wife about this and that. There's a time that I got offended with it because I didn't, men have our pride and ego. But one thing I never wanted to do was embarrass her. So that probably shaped me from being faithful. Now, I will say I did something unknowingly cheated in a way that I didn't know. When we was going through our ways and our issues, yeah, I'll be on Instagram liking stuff and liking pictures and whatnot, which she said was, was hurting her. And, as a man, I can honestly say that back then, more pride, I didn't understand that. But when your wife says something bothering her or she feels disrespectful, you should take that to what's called. But me, I'm like, it's Instagram. I'm gonna say I like the picture. I'm liking pictures and all that shit. But to women, it means something else. And I'd be damn if other women don't go and be like, girl, look at her liking this shirt picture. Us, we just liking the picture. It means nothing to us. But to them, it meant something different. So I do apologize. That was cheating. So I did do that if that was cheating. But as far as having sex with another woman, I never did that. Not because of her so much, but because of God. So being married and struggling, I wanted to be blessed. So I never wanted to be telling God to bless me knowing I'm doing wrong stuff. You get what I'm saying? Second of all, if somebody stepped out, I didn't want to be the one that cheated, you know what I mean? And then she cheated, I'm hurt. If she cheated, hey, I did my best, but I never wanted to be the joker that's cheating and then be out here stepping out. And then when she cheat, I want to kill everybody. I never wanted to be that dude either. So I didn't get it right because spiritually and emotionally intelligent wise, I was in a place to handle some of the problems. When y'all get married, them first 3 years are tough. You get in some people say it's the first 5 years. I wasn't prepared for that. I wanted instant bliss. We in love, ain't no problems, nothing to work through, my way or the highway. So that was young me, not understanding how marriage works. And wasn't even open to being mentored at the time because I didn't know any other married couples.
What do you guys draw the line at between faithfulness, monogamy, and control? Like some people would say that that's a form of control, stopping you from liking a picture or trying to use their feelings to hold you hostage. What do you guys draw the line when it comes to that? Lala, how about you tell me? You answer the question for me.
Yeah, I'm going to start off with this. Like, you got to definitely be a special kind of person. Like, as far as like being faithful, like, especially if you have been hurt before, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you've been hurt before and you feel like you can't trust a woman or trust the person you with, bro. Like my first marriage, bro. I went through some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be open with y'all, boy, transparent. My wife cheated and had a baby, bro. I thought I could never bounce back from that shit, bro. She tried to bury me, you feel me? On top of that, I lost in court, paid child support over almost $200,000 child support for 15 years, bro. You feel me? So it was hard for me. Like I'm talking about, I was so fucked up. I had sex for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That shit had me probably the smallest I've ever been. Since high school, my back pockets were touching, all type of shit. But once you find out one, bro, you feel me? And like my wife Monique, she showed me that she can be the partner, the person that I needed. You know what I'm saying? I had it, like all that shit out in the past that happened to me, bro. Like I done that, like well, I'm gonna be out here just slanging. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even get to that point where I was so fucked up. So I was like, I gotta find me somebody that I can try to rebuild this shit and grow with, you know what I'm saying? And I got to the point like I was faithful in that first one too. Like just like Hart said, I won't be the one to fuck up. If it is, it's gonna be on her. I'm gonna do the right thing. And that's by God. So I see it as I don't see it as control because like you gotta think about it. Whatever you do, and you gotta look at it like, what if your wife did it? You know what I'm saying? Like Hart said, he liking pictures on Instagram. He go down and you see his wife liking a whole bunch of niggas pictures on Instagram. How that's gonna make you feel? I know someone's like, nah, but the man in you, you know what I'm saying, the lion in you, like, hell no, if I'm that guy, why she liking that? You feel me? Why she putting her heart in his picture? So I try to do everything that I don't want done to me, bro. I don't want I don't want to be in I don't want nobody to be in her. I don't want her to be in nobody inbox. So I'm not in nobody inbox. I don't want her smiling in the nigga face. So I ain't smiling in with chick's face. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I said, what I don't want done to me, if not, I want to do to her. You know what I'm saying? What if I could do out there? Like, it's so easy for us to do it, bro. Like, all of our shit together. We got somewhere to stay. We driving. We working. Good fathers. We got all the qualities they want. So the women, anytime we walk out the door, we can grab one. We got everything they want. I'm just speaking of us five, because I know y'all boys, and I see y'all on Facebook and seeing you with your kids, bro. You with your daughter, see Zay with his kid, everybody shit together, bro. So it's easy for me to do it, but I don't want. It ain't no thing, I ain't gonna call it control. I just don't want to do some things that will hurt her, and I don't want her to do things that'll hurt me. So I try to do it because I've done that shit before. She said, well, how would you like it if I like this dude picture? And it be people that I've been knowing for years, bro, that I had to cut off. I had a female friend that told me I had to choose between me and my wife when she was my girlfriend. I'm not friends with her no more. I'm saying I'm solid with who I'm gonna go with what's worked for me. And that shit wasn't working for me. Like I said, I had to rebuild myself, bro. I wasn't this person a couple years back when that shit happened to me, bro. I was not me. I was fucked up. So to get somebody to ride with you like my wife do, bro, is nothing I can ask her. She's not gonna do for me, bro. There's a lot of dudes that can't ask their old lady for shit because they're giving out too much shit. This shit like straight down the middle, bro. If I'm fucked up, hey, put $1,000 in my account. She can do that shit. I ain't never been with nobody like that in my life.
Oh, let me try to Chris. Chris. Yeah. So I'm gonna just for me. So somebody told me one time the definition of harassment is whatever somebody deems to be harassing. Whether you agree with it or not, they saying, hey, this is harassing. So I'm gonna use that for example. So for me, whether I agree or not, once you grow up a little bit, if my woman who I care about says something hurts her, whether I agree with it or not, I have logically, I'm going to respect that. Hey, whether I understand it or not, she's saying that this is something that's hurting her. So when I was doing that with that, I'm admitting that for the first time. I'm like, whatever, that's something stupid. Until she does that, and then I had to be taught listen, I had to grow a lot as a man, but when you love somebody, you don't intentionally try to hurt them. It's some growing pains with us growing up, but if I didn't intentionally try to hurt. So when she said that hurt her, there were certain things I had to just respect, whether I thought it was valid or not, out of respect for her and love for the person.
Hey Chris, I think the answer to that, just before you go, I think it's a communication thing. Because I think when you ask where you draw the line at, I believe that if my wife says that hurts her, then that's how I attach that.
Yeah.
But I'm just not gonna assume she thinks that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that right now, I have to think it's about knowing your person. Because see, the root of your question is a manipulation on her feelings. Because a woman weaponizing her feelings to stop you from doing stuff, right? But that means that she had ill intent for you, period. That just goes back to the root of that. Like, why would she be doing that? If she not trying to hurt you or manipulate you or cause you any grief, right? If she just know, hey, my husband just like picture, now she come to you knowing it doesn't hurt her, but she just want to stop it, that's a malicious intent. But I think if she's coming to you saying, like, I don't like that make me feel small as a woman, and I think any man will say, why, that was not my intent. I was just scrolling. I can stop that because it's not worth it. But I think it's a thin line between you trying to make me stop to show to broad your to pump your because you're gonna use my love as a weapon. Then I'm actually hurt as your woman, and I want you to stop doing that. And I think once a woman come to you like that, because she gonna know how to talk to you because that's your woman. And once you hear that, like Horace was saying, once you hear that in her, or Lolly was saying, you look at her and know that's affecting the woman you love, it's gonna be a no-brainer for you to stop because that was never your intent in the first place. It wasn't even about her. It was because you just like bent over, big booty, you like, boom. Now that you know that this can be this effect on her, it ain't worth me liking her picture if this gonna be the outcome of it. And I think that should go both ways.
But see, the thing about it is this: when we do these comparisons, we do one-on-one comparison. I don't believe that men and women are the same. I don't believe that they're equal. But I don't think that they can be judged in the same way. Just like when we say, "Well, what if she cheated too?" I have to ask myself, "Do you want to cheat?" If you don't want to, if a woman doesn't want to cheat, then she shouldn't bring "what if I cheat too" in the argument, because that's not something that she truly want to do. That's not an equal one-on-one. What I'm saying is this: if you go if you go into getting a man that you know had a loose past, or really was used to be promiscuous, I believe that certain things you got to give him liberty to do. Liking pictures, admiring women, if you take that away from him, you make it taboo. I believe that gives him a stronger want to actually explore those feelings, because you don't give me a simple outlet. I like admiring women, and most men like admiring women. If you take that away, it's sometimes, I don't know because I've never been in this situation, but for talking to some men, it feels like a prison sentence. Now he got
That's the crazy part.
I think that's choosing your mate though. Like some women don't like their men being at the gym. Like I don't heard women say imagine no way my man to go to the gym all the time, all the women. But bro, my wife knew I did it before I met her. See what I'm saying? Like this stuff that we already talked about. Like she know what makes me. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this stuff come off because people be bullshitting themselves. Like right now, if your wife, if you meet this girl and she likes to go out and she's in everybody's face every time she go out, she's dating you, she's in everybody's face every time she go out. You can't get married tomorrow and think she gonna just stop being in everybody's face. That's a trait of her. That's what she likes to do. So I'm just gonna say you shouldn't choose that woman because some men don't care that their woman is in everybody's face. I think she should get with a man who doesn't find that offensive, and vice versa. But what happens is because she look good or because she doing something for you, you overlook that and hope that once I say I do, I can make her stop, or that's that weaponizing. You can't do that, bro. You got to live within a good zone, because there's a lot of stuff that maybe my wife might do. A lot of them might say he don't want his wife to do, or vice versa. You see what I'm saying? But we fit for each other. He fit for his wife, and that's what makes a good couple. It's not when you're trying to, because I believe anytime you forcing somebody to do something or you making somebody do that, shit gonna erupt, bro. That shit gonna crumble. It's gonna crumble because it's gonna feel like a jail cell, Chris. I agree. If my wife tell me I can't go to the gym, no matter how much I want to do that for, that's my peaceful place. It will probably have a fucked up marriage, because now I'm like, that's my place of peace. So if my place of peace is bringing you this much turmoil, then we not meant to be. As much as I can, as much as I want it to be, I have to really go back and say, how is this? Like, just really examine that shit. And I gotta be real with myself. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people say, fuck it, I'm just try. Nah, some stuff, bro. Like, a lot of throw parties, bro. Like, he throw good parties. So his wife have to be okay with him being on them scenes and understanding that kind of stuff. And some women say, my husband ain't throwing no, I know how to, but she know what she got. So she okay with that. You see what I'm saying? I think it's that.
Hey, Chris, my wife said it's okay to scroll and look, but don't be liking. Now, you know what I'm saying? Like you just saying that they might want to make you. I'm gonna still admire women. I can still admire women, but I ain't got to be putting hearts and thumbs ups on the pictures. You know, just look and go. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know she. I'm not the finest nigga in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Your wife is a superhero. Your wife is a superhero. First of all, you're not winning any Sexy Man of the Year awards, and your wife is an attractive woman. So I'm looking at it like, first of all, I look at you as like Hall of Fame for being able to pull that off.
Boy, you hell, boy.
That's one thing.
Boy, you hell, boy.
Oh man.